roll.
That's next month.
Oh shit! Sorry guys. Color roll. What's your color, bro?
Brown.
Teal.
Oh.
That's not one of the colors.
He's a blue.
Blue.
Green.
Spoken like a true blue. Am I
Yeah.
Director.
right?
I'm a what's a 2-chrome?
You're already done.
Blue
Bichrome.
green.
Can we be shades? Can
I'm
I
a
be a
bichrome
black?
blue green.
No.
That's not a shade. That's all.
Is that a...
Well, it's all
Black's
colors.
absence of color.
Depends.
Is black absence of color or is white?
It
White
depends.
White is all colors.
It depends if
Black
it's
is
additive
It's
or
light.
subtractive.
It's not paint. What's your color?
So wait a
Black.
minute, then wouldn't
Yeah.
light skin be more effective? Because you could have all
Ultraviolet. Okay.
No.
Ultraviolet.
I'm gonna go with gray.
No.
I'm gonna go red.
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 Yeah.
All right. Sub-red, red,
Bichrome.
Okay.
Really?
Super hot.
I was gonna say
and a little yellow.
red too, because I'm always angry.
Green.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't be a.
I'm
red.
blue green.
Super like everything.
I'm not gonna lie. I forget what all the colors
Yeah.
I
do.
think just
Oh, really?
They're all
We
the
need to-
seven.
we need
They're
to
the
have-
seven
What was
deadly
the deal with
sins.
I
the
know.
orange
I think it's
people?
I
at the
forget
end
which
of the
one's
book.
associated.
What was the deal with the
It's
orange
at-
dudes?
They're
right?
super slippery.
I'm orange. I'm orange
Right?
for sure.
Jeffrey, is your front door locked? Baker's here.
It
shouldn't be.
I don't think so.
It's at the end of the book, right? Don't they have like a?
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Anyway,
so
doesn't matter.
we're back, guys. Back again. This is part 2 of the Black Prism, and obviously
We've been drinking
are-
like it's a part 3.
it could be a part 2-3 combo. So we left off talking about the magic system.
Okay.
Now we are gonna talk about the chromeria,
Ghana.
the traditions, and the culture. I missed it. I missed it.
You start.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
Well, I'll start then and say that I have to say that like the introduction to the island that the Chromeria is at, and when they were talking about like all the buildings, I thought was super cool.
Big Jasper and Little Jasper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that the author put in those details of how the architecture of it was designed to like maximize like light and how the whole island kind of shifts around. I'm talking about the right place.
Right,
Like,
it gets smaller in the middle because you want the
Because you want the outsides to come in.
to center into the.
You want a
middle.
side that allows people to have privacy, but then the side that actually allows for people to utilize light rotates.
Rotates, yeah.
I love how they had like all the high up people towards the top because it has the best
Yeah.
quality light. I loved everything about like how he designed the actual makeup of this area
Well, and
that the
it
Chromeria is
fits
at.
too with the magic system to be like, all right, if you're gonna have like this caste system of
Yeah.
like, here's your high level and your low level people, like obviously when it's all centered around light, like you just want to be as high as you can because you're gonna get the most light. If you're living in the slums,
Yeah.
like it's all in the shadows. It's
Right.
gonna be like darker, so it makes way more sense, and I
Yeah.
think it fits well.
I think it's something interesting that probably you'll notice in real life and you'll notice in almost every book is this idea of like fortune favors the fortune. Like I don't
Yeah.
think that there is. I think a lot of people think of it as a like nefarious thing, like oh they're trying to keep the people down, and there's definitely aspects of that. But I also think that it's almost impossible to avoid this idea of not like giving resources to the people that are utilizing it. And I think that also when you have power, it's going to
Naturally
snowball.
go
It's going
to
to
the
naturally snowball.
highest people.
It's not necessarily has anything to do with corruption or the system. It's just I feel like an unavoidable aspect that hopefully some systems might be able to counteract.
Right.
But
Yeah.
obviously seems to prevail in most fantasy or in most
Well, it's
in
just
most world
it's a
building.
natural
Yeah.
way, and that's a good thing. When you don't want this to feel like unnatural, you're like, if all of a sudden you're like, oh, the people are living in like the center, surrounded by
Right.
mountains, you're like,
Right,
doesn't
right.
make sense. They don't have light.
Right.
So he's following this natural progression that's just like, you know what, they're gonna build up because the higher you can be, the more sunlight you're
Right.
gonna get for the longer amount of time too. Because the higher you up,
Right.
sun sets lower, like,
Right.
so you're gonna get more of it. Makes
You have
sense.
more time. You're gonna have the better quality, and it's like it also makes sense. As unfair as it seems, it also makes sense. Like the people that have proven to be able to work with that, you might as well give them those resources.
Dude,
Yeah.
one thing that I absolutely loved was when you get the different satraps, but they're kind of like tied to certain colors, even if they are bichromes or
Yeah.
multichromes. It's almost like regionally, people were
naturally
naturally had
one place,
like
not
a like at one point in time it was like
They did talk about that a little with the
Blood
Forest,
Forest,
and like
Red and
how
Green
There's so
and-
much green there. All the green drafters.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was like regionally tied. And
Do you think that it could
everything, too.
also be associated with just like a cultural thing? You know, like you'll find things that like whatever like the aspect that makes you cool in that area is kind
More
of what
people will
people are driven towards it. You know, so
Yeah.
it could also be a cultural thing where like these areas discovered this first, so people like explore those colors first. I don't know.
What do you,
But,
I gotta ask a question before we move on deeply. What color, if you could only be a omnichrome? I'm sorry.
Oh, an omnichrome that can only be one color.
Sorry. A
Monochrome.
monochrome.
A
If you could
polychrome.
only be a monochrome, what would the color you would draft be? Is it the ones you were saying before?
Oh yeah,
I picked one at random. I don't remember what all of them
you
do.
said gray, and which isn't a color.
Okay, first of all, you idiot. If you remember back to what I said, can I pick a shade? Because I would pick black, so I know it's not a color.
And we said no.
And then I said grrr, thinking you were going to say,
No,
I think
but
I
in
said
this
green, and I
system,
said gray just to
like,
throw you off.
Think of the magic. What's tied to the color?
Yeah,
what
I'd-
would you want to be able to draft?
Oh,
I don't
Be
remember.
able to, or what?
You each.
Oh wait, fact check. Just so we know, fact check. Karis White Oak has fair skin, and she dyes her hair different colors. But I think it was pink. And when
She dyed it pink.
It was
We-
purple. Purple.
yeah,
And
it was
pink.
pink when
It
they
was
introduced
dark.
No, I thought it was
sounds
black.
like my girl.
She's.
When we first introduced her, black.
But I think naturally it's like a
Blonde.
red or a black.
Andrew also. She's from the
beautiful
Blood Forest, so I think
Blonde.
it's green.
She's a
or red.
natural
I think
blonde.
it's red.
Karis.
Fuck my life.
Oh, Captain calls it. Okay.
Fuck my
natural
life.
blonde. Anyway, but she's light skinned, light
Yeah.
haired, light eyed.
It's-
So just
How do you know? Does the drapes match the
So,
description in
before
the
we-
book?
Before we get all the way through, let's do a
That is
quick
exactly
review.
how I know.
We're gonna do a quick review.
Quick
Libsyn has tactility. So, subred, the hardest to describe due to its flammability, but often described as feeling like a hot wind. Red, gooey, sticky, clingy, depending on drafting, can be tarry and thick or more gel-like. Oh, this is the actual
texture of
ability.
Luxon.
This is the texture. So let's do. There's a scent to each one. There's a metaphysics. Do they have?
there it is, right?
All right. Subreds are passionate all the way, in the most purely emotional of all drafters, the quickest to rage or to cry. Subreds love music, often impulsive, fear the dark less than other colors, and are often insomniacs. Emotional, distracted,
Sounds like me, except
unpredictable,
for the-
This
inconsistent,
is a little
loving,
like me
big-hearted,
too.
subred
That's
men are
definitely
often
not me. I'm fucking
sterile.
cold-hearted
I would
as
have
hell.
tried though.
Yeah.
Their associated vice is wrath. Associated virtue is patience. Red drafters. Quick-tempered, lusty, love destruction, are also warm, inspiring, brash, larger than life, expansive, jovial, and powerful. Orange.
Ben loves destruction.
Oranges are often artists, brilliant in understanding, often people's emotions and motivations. Sometimes
We got
uses
none of
to
those?
defy or exceed expectations. Sensitive, manipulative, idiosyncratic, slippery, charismatic.
Captain
and
is slippery.
Yellow drafters tend to be clear thinkers with intellect and emotion in perfect balance. Cheerful, wise, bright, balanced, watchful, impassive, observant, brutally honest at times, excellent liars.
It sounds like me,
Thinkers,
except for
not
intelligent.
Sounds.
And green drafters. Greens are wild, free, flexible, adaptive, nurturing, and friendly. They don't
Am I
don't
nurturing?
so much disrespect authority as not even recognize it.
That's
Brent's agreeing.
Green drafters are orderly, inquisitive, rational, calm, cold, impartial, intelligent, musical. Structure, rules,
Sounds like
and
an
hierarchy
assassin.
are often important to them. Blues often
Just joking.
mathematicians and composers. Ideas and ideology and correctness often matter more than people to blues. And then superviolets tend to have removed outlook, dispassionate. They appreciate irony and sarcasm, words, games, and are often cold, viewing people as puzzles to be solved or ciphers to be cracked. Irrationally outrageous supervisors.
Okay.
Irrationality, outrageous.
All right.
Superviolets.
All right, folks. We're actually not gonna say
All right.
what we are, but I would appreciate.
Now start with chapter 1.
Yeah, I now would appreciate.
lot.
Okay, so we kind of have a vibe here for those colors. However, if you would in the comments put what you think
Each of us
we
are.
I know where you live.
So
Thanks, Phil, for
that would be kind of fun. So we'd be curious to see what you think on that based on those descriptions.
Also, feel free to put what you are in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
too.
like,
Yeah, it's not about
I want
us.
to know what you guys think.
Right.
That way, when
Yeah.
we like respond to you, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, of course she'd say that. She's
Right.
green. We'll use it against you for the rest of your life.
Did you say
with
she's
us.
a green or she's a green?
She's agreeing with us. So she's a blue.
Amazing. All right. So, Chromaria. Back to the Chromaria.
I love the architecture.
We did talk about how awesome the architecture was. How about their lifts? Even the Prism remembers when he was young having to do the lifts. You know, counterbalance for their elevators because all of the super badass people get to go to the top where the most light is.
Oh, the
Yeah.
lifts were cool.
Yep.
I remember.
How does it work again? Like you have drafters, right?
Yeah,
That
and
are-
they're like there's like a counterbalance and then there's pull cords.
Yeah. I also like how like Gavin basically had like the same version of the lift in his little prison.
Yeah.
But it was like a solo man version and he almost killed himself
Yeah.
using it.
He like rope burned his
Okay,
entire-
this is one. I'm sorry to get off topic, but this is one thing that I thought was super funny about this series is how everybody kept doing like everyday shit that almost killed them. It's like Gavin's just like, I'm gonna go down this elevator. Oh, I almost died. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fly on this thing I invented. Oh, I almost
the shit-
died and
yeah,
killed
yeah.
Garrus. It's like, oh, I'm gonna ride over to Black Fist or whatever his fucking name is.
Black
It's like,
Fist.
The innuendos are on point tonight.
the Black Fist in Rectum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He lives in Rectum, right?
And he just like almost died. Like everybody's just doing normal shit, and then they almost die.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Everyone's
sorry.
just almost dying.
They almost dying. Yeah, that should be
that
the
kind
name
of
of this
world.
series.
almost dying.
They almost died. The almost died series.
Yeah. A few people did die though. Let's remember Samson.
Oh,
Delilah.
should we do a quick
Samwise
round
Gamgee.
of drinks to Samson?
Samson.
Samson.
We
Who
hardly
else
knew
died?
ye.
A lot of soldiers died.
Lamb.
Oh, the satrap, King Haradul died.
King Harador.
The satrap.
Boy,
He got his.
I'll drink to him
Got
getting
his
his
skull-
just
oh, yeah.
desserts.
Oh, dude, but what do you? No, I gotta save that. I'll save that for later. My
Yeah,
question
yeah,
about
save
that
it for later.
strategical mind. So, let's keep going. So, I personally think this reminds me, and it probably draws a lot of inspiration from historical times when a religious power was like super strong. But in this case, it's not just a religious power, but like or holim. You've got this concept of the one, essentially like a one color, the white, the one god. Essentially, you have this like Orholim, and the pagans are like the other colors, the old like tribal.
Like
gods.
everyone's equal, but you
Yeah.
know there's
Yet
the one
in this
that's
world,
above all.
there's like a tangible power that comes from this.
Yeah.
And so I'm
provable.
really curious. So like the Omnichrome himself was talking about like, oh, they're just holding you back, holding you down.
Right.
You know, but then you see the color whites, and you're like, maybe.
But you also see the color whites that are not, crazy.
Exactly.
Well,
So
this is the
Even
other
he
thing.
says they're
this
like eggs, and when they hatch, sometimes you have to kill them.
Well, here's the other
Look
thing
at
that
that
I feel like you have to keep in mind
Yeah,
is
but you
that.
have to kill like majority of them.
But here's the other thing I feel like we have to keep in mind is that this system has been in place for a long time. So I feel like the people that break that system are going to be a specific type of person. You know what I mean? So like it could be that only a little bit batshit crazy people at this point become colored whites because most of them follow the system of just going through the freeing when they're getting to the halo point. So it could be a little misleading because way back in the day, maybe there was no reason to do it and that everybody had an equal opportunity to be a little nuts.
And that's a good point, because it could be all the people that sanely go and be like, I'm just going to kill myself because I'm getting to that
Are
point,
the rule
would be the
followers.
people that would actually not have
anything going. Yeah, exactly.
It's the insane people that are like, I'm going to fuck the
Yeah,
rules.
fuck that shit. Yeah.
Those are the ones that go crazy.
But I don't think so. I disagree.
I'm just saying maybe.
I would disagree.
I'm not saying I necessarily believe that. I'm just saying
But
it could be
it follows a bit of it makes a bit of sense to say that
I wanna
the
hear-
people that are not going to follow the rules are the people that are also going to go nuts
Right.
when they reach that point. Whereas the people that are like, I'm going to follow the rules, they potentially could be the ones that hit that color rate point but don't go nuts.
But don't go nuts.
What
Yeah.
about the artist? The orange?
Yeah.
He was an addict. And
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a failure, I'm an addict. Do you think
'Cause
he is a color?
Even though like there's people that follow the rules and people that don't, whatever. I get
Yeah.
it. I don't think that that's necessarily the case, because even thinking about it, like we get introduced to Gavin's mother, who seems like a very balanced individual, like intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I haven't used my Luxon or my powers in a long time. I feel like dull." You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think people, regardless of whether they follow the rules or not, it's whether that person's going to get overwhelmed by their temptation for power or not.
Well, I feel like when you're not exploring your natural you, you're always going to feel a little dull. You know what I mean? Like, if she's not using this element of her, if she's not using this aspect of
It
her,
is
it's like, for example, like if I was like a fucking natural born skydiver and
Why would
like,
you
I
using
love
color be
being,
natural
I
you, though?
love, what's that?
You using magic or using the powers of the spectrum would not necessarily be.
But to them it
Why
is,
wouldn't
'cause
it be?
Why would it be?
But why wouldn't it be?
Why would it be?
But they're doing
why
it,
would
they
I
can
not?
do it.
If I once was able to walk and now I can't walk, why would I not feel a little bit dull without that ability to explore and go out and do these powers that I can
Yeah.
do?
That's a good point.
But the thing is that you might go your whole life without knowing that you were able to walk.
I don't think people that have never drafted before feel dull without it.
Correct.
I think it's the people that have drafted before, like her.
It's
that,
part of
that
them.
It's
Yeah.
part of them because now they've explored what's outside that, and now it's like, oh, I can't.
How do I
It's
not
like a
go-
talent
it's
of
like for
theirs.
example, me. Once I've had strawberry rhubarb pie, I want it all the time, and I feel dull without it. But if I'd never had it before, I'd be like,
What is
I don't fucking care.
Great point.
I disagree with you.
Thank you.
All right.
That's
you're
because
allowed
you've never
to
had
disagree.
strawberry rhubarb pie.
I mean, but honestly, yeah. If you don't follow them,
yeah.
I mean, it's not a foreign concept to them. They're aware of it, and then if they become drafters, it's who they are now.
It's who they are.
So if you do drugs, it becomes a part of you.
Yeah,
I think it
that
can.
is.
Yeah.
Like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
But why?
I don't
do
think
you-
that's-
Have you ever done drugs?
Wait. Like if I did,
Alcohol?
Okay, but have you ever gone for a little while without drinking and been like, I kind of feel like having a drink tonight?
No.
Manny, I think like
As he fucking drinks.
We're doing it. Like I don't do this in my natural, like everyday life. Like
Yeah.
it's literature. So
If
yeah,
you-
I'm drinking.
become like if you tried heroin or cocaine, like something a little bit harder than alcohol.
Yeah.
Like you can become addicted to it, and then once you're no longer on it, like I feel dull. I'm not living life.
And just because
Okay,
you,
but
and just
if you
because
take
you
cocaine
don't-
and you become addicted to it, that doesn't mean it's
No.
a part of you
Time
or
out.
natural.
Let me
But
add one comment.
addiction can be different from a draw, though.
Yeah,
it can
no,
be
no.
like, oh, that was fun. I'm not going to do it because it's bad for me, but that was fun.
I
you
actually
know?
want to bring a different point up, and it's I don't think it should be compared to like alcohol or a drug. I think it needs to be compared to what the director said.
Yeah,
Walking.
to strawberry rhubarb pie.
No, walking. Because it's an innate,
A skill or a talent.
that these
Just like
people have.
strawberry rhubarb pie.
It's like drawing or walking or running fast. It's like the way that I would put it. Is
Like
if
riding
you
a bike.
Had
Yeah.
if you had the ability to, let's say, marathon run, and it's running is giving you life. You love running. Like you can just do it.
Yeah.
And you could do it too much and fuck your knees up, and then you don't have running anymore.
And you
But
feel empty
running
without
was
it.
your whole life. Not
Right.
only your whole life for some of these people, it's actually their career, their life. Running's an example. Like if I was an athlete, and I was making all of my money from this long runs, and then I fucking tore my
Destroyed me,
AC,
yeah.
MCL, and like it didn't heal right, whatever. The way that I'm looking at it is not like a drug. It can be a drug because you can
It's your
fucking
draw.
push it too much.
Yeah.
But it's more like a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they say like, or hold him as a contract with you, and he gave this to you. They say that.
Yeah.
They say that. But I view it as like, it's more like your leg or your arm, but this magic.
Naturally,
is-
it's
like
part of
genetics.
you. It's not like you were
like
gifted.
it's not like an
It's-
extra.
But even
An
from a different
essential
point of view, like for
function.
example, I think for example, like somebody like Stephen Hawking would care more about losing a portion of his intellect than losing his ability to walk. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like that defined him. Like this is what I love to do. I love to think about problems. I
Yeah.
love to do this thing. And if suddenly, I don't think he would like exchange a portion, or he would have exchanged a portion of his intellect
for
in order to
walking.
walk again, because I feel like that was just, he loved thinking about problems.
Yeah.
It was something that was just ingrained in him. This was his thing that he loved. You know what I mean?
Anyway, there's no right or wrong answer in this, but we're all speculating.
Except Manny's
Right.
wrong. But, yeah.
I mean,
Manny's
we can
not
all
wrong.
agree on that.
Manny's-
Yeah, yeah.
Manny's
Let's make it
not
a Brett
wrong.
bet. I'm just kidding.
No. Manny's not wrong, but he has an opinion that it's actually.
I think Manny's opinion is just as viable as ours.
It is.
I think it's just as likely. I don't know the answer.
I think it's actually
Yeah.
important for us to ask
Yeah.
because we have this culture built around this whole system, and we have to ask: is this magic? Is it a drug, like an external, a not me, or
Or
is this part of me?
Yeah, it's
Right.
you.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that makes a humongous difference.
Well, I think it could also. I think most likely the answer is a little bit in both of them.
It could be,
I think for
but-
some people, it's like once they discover drafting, it becomes something that they just have to do, and it's not that they're addicted to it. It's just that it's part of their. It's just part of who they are. You
Well,
know
remember
what I mean?
when
And then
Gavin-
I think for other people, it's less important to them, and they have other interests. You know.
Remember when Gavin was explaining this to Kip? He's like, you could choose to do this, or you could just like not worry about it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, if you're gonna choose this, it's gonna be hard as shit. And it's not just because you're related to me, but it's also because
Right.
drafting will kill you early.
Right.
Like,
It is. Essentially.
it's just what it is. Like you're gonna die. Blah blah blah. This and that. And he basically gives this whole thing, and Kip almost like innately, without a thought, says, "Well, I'm doing it. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I
How
don't
do I?
know what I do.
And especially from his background, being like,
Of course
I'm
he's
the
gonna be.
nothing kid of some like
Yeah.
hash addict. Like, how do you not be like, oh, there's something important to me? I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about this? All right,
Can I bring up
do
something
this.
really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So I
Before I go.
actually just thought of an idea with you saying that, is that oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought.
All right, while you're thinking of it, I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
to
gosh.
this. What did you guys think of the white?
She's an equal potential rival for Gavin, probably the only one presented in the entire book. Because even King Herodor, who is a sovereign king, like claiming his own nation, his own freedom, you still,
garbage.
despite
Yeah.
all of the conflict that creates, it's not much of a risk or a challenge for Gavin himself as a character. It's more of a challenge for Gavin's the system that he supports to overthrow, to put that down, to stop that conflict.
Yeah.
So, but with the white, you get the sense that she really could make a power play, and she is maybe the only one who is around the same league as Gavin.
Well,
I disagree with you.
Oh.
I feel like, I agree with you that the king was like a puppet king to the Omni whatever dude.
The
Prince
Omni
Omni
Prince.
But if we think about it, like Gavin is even still fearful of his father.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
his
true.
father's definitely a rival and powerful.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think honestly, like the white is not a challenge to his power, like directly.
Mhm.
She's not going to be like,
Maybe
I'm
politically.
stronger than
Right,
you.
right.
But I think she offers the balance of like a bit of the you think that everything is going right, but hey, you know what? There are counters to this, and I think she offers the not like it's a moral compass, but I think she's almost the counter to the you should not think that you're the only power.
An antagonist type
I think
role.
I think it's played well, and I don't even know if it's completely antagonist, but it's a counterbalance.
There's actually a chapter where he talks about that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's all this whole point of like, oh, if everything was just me, then that's
not good.
It.
Yeah.
Well, but there's this opposite end that's supposed to balance.
Well,
out.
he says
it's
like
checks and balance.
Right.
prisms could technically die and historically have died sometimes every 7 years. But at least 7 or 14 or 21.
Yeah, in 7-year increments. Yeah,
7-year increments. But he's like, if the entire nation depended on that would be upheaval every time. Like every time that they die. So they have this white as like he's like kind of a religious figurehead in a way, who has a lot of power, but like at the same time you've got an actual governing body.
Right.
Yeah.
But Andros Guile. Andros. So
They call him Andros Guile, not Andros the Red.
Yeah, they call him Andros Guile, not Andros the Red.
Let's
Andros.
do a
Finally,
drink to Andros.
we finally got Andros in the book, and he's not a floating head either.
Uncle
But, I
Andros,
gotta tell you-
failed
I remember what I
you.
was gonna say.
Uncle Andros, that's amazing. But the one thing that I was thinking about is Gavin goes to like meet his dad. He's been avoiding him the whole time, and then he goes to meet him, and he's in that room, and even with all his power and his charisma and everything that he is outside of that room, was like, yes, Father.
Yeah.
Like he just left that room like, yes, Dad.
Completely emasculated.
Like just no matter what, like he just.
But there's a possibility that has nothing to do with his power and just more to do with the fact that it's his father.
Well, and I think that's a good point.
I think that's the point.
I think
of
that's
it.
the whole idea of
sorry.
just this.
Yeah.
You walk in and it's just like, I am the most fucking powerful person, but even in the face of your father, you just like.
But also, I
Like,
think there's
even though I don't think he
Maybe.
agrees with it.
You think
he
he's
doesn't-
more powerful than
I don't
Gavin?
think that he's more powerful, but Gavin even says like, "Oh, he has people everywhere. Like, I shouldn't be surprised my father knows everything. He's not someone that I want to
There is a reason
cross."
for it. There is a reason for it, but I think that it's also a way of like introducing this idea that there's like physical, like maybe appearance power isn't necessarily everything.
Right.
You're like,
Right.
oh, in name, I'm on the crew.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah.
everything. Like I'm the god, but like, hey, there are people I fear, like the White and like his father, and like there are politics to this whole idea
The
that
politics, yeah.
I'm not, even though on the face of it, I'm the god of this freaking religion.
I don't know.
He really is
that
not
way.
like
I mean, technically,
gonna
he's
be
the
powerful
emperor.
all the time because he can run out of using his
Yeah.
power.
Well,
Yeah.
Especially Blue. Am I right?
yeah, I mean, technically, he's the emperor, but he's just a figurehead.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he has a ton of like magical power, but he kind of squandered his political power, and the White has a ton of that.
right.
Ton
And
of reach.
so does his
And
father.
his father even more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And so
They hate
I mean,
each
if he
other.
was all powerful, he
Convince
wouldn't care
the
about
White
this
to
army
ta-
coming
to
after
go
him.
to Sunday. Convince the Red to go to Sunday. I love how he says like every time either the White or his dad are like, convince her to go already. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's also like even in our world, there is one most powerful person in the world, but there are two powerful people in the world that can become more powerful than him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like he may be more powerful than every single individual person in the world, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to play politics, because
Yeah.
anybody that has
Correct.
people behind them can
become
potentially
more
overthrow
powerful,
you.
Correct.
I want to throw, based on this topic, I want to throw something out real quick and like hear all of your thoughts on this, like everybody, because this is super interesting to me. So the key kind of like topic here is two things. The first is Gavin goes to see his brother in the cell, and then he finds out about this
Gavin.
dagger, quote unquote dagger. Gavin laughs.
Oh, I
It was
love
funny.
that chapter. The
So
second that
he
brings up
laughs,
the-
and then
the
Gavin's
dagger.
playing this whole political game in his head because, thankfully, and I think this is ingenious. We have like some authors are like giving you a true perspective of a person, and like other authors are kind of giving you more like a third person view.
However,
in this case,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
we're only in the brain of Gavin, and he's just like, "Oh fuck."
What is he
Oh,
thinking? What's
fuck.
going on?
I fucked up. I missed something. There's something else
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Then he goes to meet Andros. Andros got
Yeah.
his dad. And
Ask
Andros
Gavin.
clearly cares and he like put his son in power. His son, one of them, in power,
Wait, it
fought
is a
on
son.
one of his
Just
son's
not
sides.
the one he thinks it is.
And yeah, not the one he thinks it is.
Yeah.
And one of his sons should know about the dagger, and he talks about the dagger.
Now Jeff's just
and-
quoting everything.
Yeah, I know.
The dagger.
and then again, you get Gavin.
And then
like,
he talks.
the best thing is like I remember the audiobook. It's just like this. It's just like Gavin. Just like, I remember the Simon Pence or Simon. What? Anyway,
Peg. Yeah.
not Simon Pegg. He just the way he read it was so good. He goes like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Like just oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
I missed
and he
something, I
goes
missed
and
something.
he literally goes, I can't say, oh, I forgot. There's only so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
times you
you
can
can
use
do
the
that.
excuse like I hit
Yeah,
my
yeah.
head, I forgot.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm just gonna have to
I have to
literally
play it off.
pretend
I
that I know
Oh,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, because
And
he's just like,
it's just like
no clue. What are you
and
talking
then
about?
and then that like obviously this all transcends into the dagger.
So
That we get at the end.
if the captain was Gavin, using it correctly in that point.
No, you mean the
This
quote
quad.
everything, baby.
So-
Quote everything, baby.
So this is what the captain would do in that situation where this guy's talking about something that he doesn't know. He'd just be like,
yeah.
Guys, I do
Before we do that-
want to point out.
we
I
do
do
that-
want to point out
I
that
want your thoughts.
No, before that.
Go for it, everybody.
Can we talk about how...
Wait, no, wait,
no.
Captain,
No,
head
no.
up, Captain.
What did he say?
I was just gonna say.
Exactly, listen.
I was just gonna say. I do want to point out that Gavin could be a gunslinger because he is following the rules of the gunslingers. For all of our readers and listeners who were in on the Dark Tower series,
has not
because
forgotten the
Gavin
name of
does
his
not
father.
forget the face of his father.
he's also perpetually looking for Aston. I don't know.
Oh, the sweet Aston. Yes, aspirin.
Yeah, he's looking for
Aspirin.
Aston and Rectum.
Sweet painkillers. It took me a minute.
would like
It took me a minute.
Ben's like, I really wish I didn't whisper it now.
Yeah, I would like
said
a,
it loud enough.
I would like a Coca-Cola because it has sugar.
anyway, let's stay on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All
What
right,
did you want to talk about?
Manny.
Yeah, Manny and the.
I forgot.
Okay, let's do the Brett bet
Bullshit.
then.
You're so salty.
Brett bet.
So I think we should do a Brett bet about.
White.
Well, is it going to be about
The blade.
the? So obviously we know the blade's going to have something to do with it.
The
But
blade or the dagger?
The dagger. The dagger. So the one
The blade
that
of the
Kip
dagger.
got from his mom.
No, the hilt.
Is the dagger.
The sheath.
I don't know even how to word this. Do we want to say is the dagger gonna be the? Because I believe it has.
Oh
100%
my
something
God!
to
Wait.
do with
Oh
the-
my God! I just like
Omnicron,
what you just
right?
said.
I agree. I think the
This is
dagger
so
has the
fun.
power of taking away
But-
people's prison.
Yeah.
But or is it even?
No.
Is it taking
I think it's
away
taking
or
away someone's
giving
colors.
and
Correct.
doing?
Like anyone.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's the power to take any color away from people.
But I also
This
I think
can't
it
be a
has
Brett
something to
bet
do
then,
with
because we're
diamonds
all
in
gonna
the hilt.
agree, right?
It has something to do with the diamonds in the hilt.
Yep.
Because
It
so-
changed, right?
Yeah, there was
When
7
it got stabbed
diamonds
into.
and one of them was blue.
Correct.
And so it took
It's
blue.
the Infinity Gauntlet.
in dagger form.
And so somehow like they have to
Thank you,
replace the
Avengers.
diamonds, or you only use it 7 times. something.
Or if you get it through the whole way.
And then Biz,
Oh, you get it all the way in.
what's the
Get it
guy
all the way
that,
in the rectum.
what's the guy that tried to kill him?
Stabbed him all
Biz
the
or
way.
whatever? Diz?
Damn.
Daz?
Simon.
So Daz is just like, I am in the water.
Simon. It's Simon.
Something like that, yeah.
Simon. It's
Simon, yeah.
But yeah, I
Simon
think he did
says-
stab him all the way.
Well,
He didn't stab him all the way.
He
think he did.
he had a rip
now
in
that-
his
now-
shirt. That's
hold
all
on.
we know.
No.
No, now
I
that
don't
he
think
says, hold on,
actually-
no. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it actually cuts him, because Chip
keep
saw it
talking.
go in, and he's like, "Oh, it stabbed him." It's not a physical wound. It's,
Yes.
it's a.
I think it's
mental
like
wound.
shard blades almost.
But
where
you
he
would think
cuts
that
off.
it hit him completely. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's like, oh, he got glazed, so it only hurt part of him. Like he would.
There was not even a scratch on him though.
Yeah.
So I think Ben's right. I think
it-
what it
I
does.
agree with you. It's not a physical
yeah.
wound.
It's
I
not
agree.
a physical
But
wound.
I don't think it went in all the way because he says
No.
as soon as it went in, like he headbutted him.
See,
Oh,
but
right,
the weird
right.
thing though is you.
It
would
may
think-
not have gone in all the way, but it definitely
Correct.
penetrated
And that's what I'm
skin.
saying. It didn't
yeah.
do all of the
But it's
coverage.
a
Right,
weird
right,
thing
right.
that
Oh,
I think-
right.
But I
Hey,
also feel that
Just a
it's,
tip.
Just the tip.
Just
Solo
the
la
tip.
punta.
but I feel that it's weird to be like, oh,
Just to see
the
what
first
color it
one
feels.
quarter of it is blue. Like
It wasn't even a quarter, boo.
But even just like, oh, the first.
It
layer of
obviously has to
skin
be a
is
seventh.
blue.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Math
The ones-
much?
Oh, okay. To get rid of all your colors, we have to stab you 7 times.
Yeah, maybe, but like I think it's weird that to
Stab
say
him
that it's
will have to
only.
be in the certain amount of time.
For the wall.
Yeah.
For the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Is that what they say?
I have no idea.
For the
For
watch?
the watch,
Maybe it's
yeah.
for
Might
For the
be.
watch.
Yeah.
For the watch. Anyway.
Oh, I get it. It's a game. Of
Yes,
All right.
indeed.
So we were on a Brett bet, I think. What was the?
Oh, we
So I
already
think-
finished.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
Did
how do
you
you
not?
know?
Did you not bet?
I can't. Bet.
All right. Yes or no?
Can you not? How can Josh?
No.
All right, it's on
What was the
books.
Brett bet?
I didn't make a Brett bet. I said we should talk about.
Yeah, you said let's make a prep.
I did say let's
Yeah.
make a Brett bet.
So
We didn't get anywhere,
I
guys.
thought
I'm
the
sorry.
Brett bet was that the dagger actually is what stole the color ability from Gavin.
Okay.
I don't think that's. I think we're all gonna agree on that.
I think
Yeah,
we're gonna.
I don't think anybody's not gonna say.
But we
it.
could,
Team
but,
bet?
Agree with
but we
that.
could be
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
It could be.
Yeah.
Team bet?
You put forward the Brett bet, and you're
I
gonna
did.
disagree with it.
No, that's Brett bet. Anyone can disagree.
Josh, what was the Brett bet that you were hoping for?
The Brett bet I said is the dagger gonna be what's contributing to the loss of power?
Oh, so a different,
loss of the color blue?
different word
Yeah.
phrasing of what I just said. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So he agreed with you. That was
So
easy.
he's just Josh is just gonna be like, okay, let's start with you, Ben. We're gonna go counterclockwise, and then he's gonna be like,
All right.
I don't agree.
So wait, did you guys already say that? And then I came in and I said no.
No, we
we're
didn't
just
already
messing
say
with
it.
we didn't
haven't
say
done
anything. I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well,
So
is
you're
that
the
not a Brett
first
bet or
one
is
then.
it a Brett bet? Are we doing? We're moving on.
We're doing
I think we all
All right,
agree.
let's do it. Let's do a team Brett bet.
Okay.
Team Brett
A
bet?
team Brett bet. Yeah. But you came up with the Brett bet.
I also
That's
said
fine.
no.
We'll just make you drink for the
A bet can completely go. I can make up a bet and not have to agree with what I said.
You
Okay.
can.
Well, I'm gonna come up with a Brett bet.
I have a better one.
My
I have a better.
name is
no, wait,
not
time out. I got a
Jim.
bet. I get. You agree with this, Josh, or not? So, based on what you said, there's a lot of information around that.
Yeah.
The Brett bet is the Prism dying or not?
Well, that's a different Brett bet, but I'll do it.
I'll shoot. I'll throw my dice in that.
I'm just. I mean, they're all dying.
Wait, hold on.
He has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are all
everyone's
dying
dying.
every day.
But Jeff,
He has 5 years
let me
left
ask
to
you this:
live.
can you participate in this Brett bet?
No.
Well, then let's not do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's not do any
Well,
prep bets that you can't participate.
Yeah.
But I could.
I mean,
that's
no,
gonna be
let's
all the
not
way
do-
until
no,
book
no,
4
hold on.
that I can participate in.
Let me reiterate. Let's not do any Brett bets that you guys create that you can't participate.
Oh
in.
yeah, but that was just the end of the book.
Too bad,
good.
bro.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So no Brett
bad,
bet.
bro.
Anyway, I do
fine.
remember what my thought was.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Let's do it.
So it's not as interesting as I thought it was. But I think my point was, unless I'm mistaken, that I think it's interesting to think that before, in the very beginning, we were talking about the possibility, or in last episode, we were talking about the possibility that the Halo could potentially just be about power and control, and that it's not an actual aspect. But I was thinking that there's actually a decent, I think, argument against that because Gavin believes in the Halo, but he doesn't believe in this religion surrounding his power. So I thought that was kind of interesting that
He totally thinks the religion is a farce.
He must have some type of experience potentially with people going crazy
Well,
from the Halo.
I
Maybe.
mean,
He
his
has
brother,
seen people.
Yeah.
his brother was killed by a color white.
Oh, the little brother.
Simon.
The littlest
Was it
brother.
Simon?
Sebastian.
Oh, his youngest
Sebastian.
brother.
His youngest brother.
Yeah.
Simon.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Oh, it's a
Simon.
It's definitely Sebastian.
But in that color,
You're right. You're absolutely right,
But
sir.
could that
Sebastian.
obviously like taint
But that could go
his
into what we were saying.
idea
Right,
of
right.
These are bad because if
That's
your
true.
brother dies, you're obviously always gonna
remember
believe
the-
I mean, it's stated,
the
that's
white-
why he goes after them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want anyone
Right.
else to die.
And
He
anytime-
doesn't want other to die.
But what Josh just said is also a good point because that could also just be that he now has this idea
Tainted
that this
version.
aspect of the religion or this aspect of it
Must
is
be
correct
true.
because this one crazy color white went after
Well,
my brother.
remember
potentially.
his younger brother Sebastian. The white said every time she can get him out of her hair, she just here's a color white over here. Here's a color white over here. Here's a color white, and she just knows that he's like, all right, I'm gonna
she
go
know
kill
where all
that
these color whites
motherfucker.
are?
He just can't
she's
resist
the white.
the white,
Yeah.
not the color white.
Yeah.
But
Can
she's
she
always-
do the same thing? This is an honest question. Can
She
she do
was
the
a
same
blue.
thing and feel the?
No.
No, only
Only
the
that
prism could do
But
that.
how does she know where all the color whites are? I mean, she just is doing
Spies,
webs.
yeah.
Okay.
And remember, they explained. By the way, what did you guys think of that? Because the color white that we got to see Gavin kill in the story was a man who fought for him
Yeah.
as Daisy
Back in the day.
I think
war.
it adds credibility that you think like this guy's fucking insane, right? He doesn't sound
He didn't
like he was
seem
a
But-
But
that
well,
insane.
the thing
Well,
is though is that he could potentially also just be that I have to uphold the law.
He's
He's a color white. I need to go
for,
after
like,
him.
He's just
No, I think he's more
arguing
obsessed
for
because his
being.
brother was killed by one.
Sebastian.
He's arguing
so?
for that he should be killed. He's just like, this is what I need to do. I need to go insane.
I think Ben also brings up a good point. Is that go ahead.
Oh, that he's only so obsessed with the color whites because
His
little
brother was killed by one,
killed
yeah.
by one in front of him.
So it
pretty
may
much.
not be just like upholding the law. He probably wholeheartedly believes that the Halo thing is
But you would
legitimate,
think that would
and it may
keep
be.
him
We have no
from
idea.
being one.
Wait, what's that? Sorry.
being one.
Because he turns into. Oh, you're talking about Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I was gonna
Gavin.
say the guy who.
Yeah. No,
no.
Gavin
We might be-
wholeheartedly.
No, the guy who went out. He went out to go kill the.
Yeah.
the general.
Yeah,
the
he was
guy.
a blue color white, and he fought for Daisy
For
in the
Days
war.
in, and he recognized him, so he's like, that whole idea that why are just random people going crazy? They're not just like
You mean like?
without
we
any
don't know
reason.
for fact that he was crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't
don't know for a
like
fact.
he was
He seemed
speaking
no-
and everything was perfectly okay.
Yeah, but he
I
even
mean-
from the beginning, he's just like, I should be like this is. He was following like a script, like I need to be killed. I'm going nuts.
No, he was
first
literally
one?
like, I am going to join a war to support Dazen. That's what he told them. He's like, I'm going, and that's what nerved Gavin as actually
Yeah, Gavin.
I do have to say though that like it does to me make sense, this idea of creating a system. It's like they almost kind of have a little bit of this going on in like Australia. They call it the tall poppy syndrome, where it's like they have like a system in place where if somebody becomes too famous, they lose favor with the general populace. They don't like somebody that's too famous. They don't like somebody to be too powerful. So they have something like, there's almost like precedent to something like that in our own world, where there are societies that don't like it when you become that big. So it makes sense to me that they could potentially put in place this idea where potentially the Halo is like this aspect of perfecting drafting, where you become extra powerful, and they don't like it, so they put an end to it because that potentially has people out there that can be way more powerful than they deserve to be.
Then they should be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what it
Harder to
is.
control.
Yeah.
There's something though that I think I want to bring attention to, which is when you think about that blue color white, he's following patterns that Gavin knows because he knows blue, the color.
Yeah.
It's almost like the color's ruling, not the person, because the
There
color's
are-
gonna
there
do
is
this,
aspects of that,
and
for
and
sure.
like there and then like suddenly, well, my skin's not that important. I'm just gonna, there is an aspect that you have to
does lead
consider.
to that it's a valid
You have to consider
thing,
that
right?
there may be a point where you're like not really you anymore.
Right.
Suddenly
Right.
you're you completely consumed with the
By this
No, I don't
ideology.
believe that because it's naturally a part of you.
Man,
I
How do you
disagree.
even
It's
say
naturally a part of you when you could fight it, but then suddenly, what if that? It's like what if I was a red, and then I get angry, whatever. But what if I'm that all the time?
But
Aren't the color
Could
whites
never
like
get out.
deformed monsters? Don't they become like demons?
they
They don't
do
have
that
to be. But
themselves.
they do it to themselves because they value
they start like
the
putting
color.
Luxin in their body and
Over-
shit. So,
Well,
right?
yeah, and it
the
ends up
person.
destroying their physical
Yeah.
self.
I also
because
want-
they need to change.
So
I
that's
also wonder if there's an aspect of like a placebo effect where it's like
What'd you say,
you know,
Cap?
like when we're like super young in high school and you like give fucking like non-alcoholic beer to some kid and he acts
We're
drunk,
really
you know,
drunk,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm haloed, maybe I need to go crazy. Like you stop
Yeah.
counteracting the worst aspects of yourself and you just start going
Embrace
for
it.
Yeah.
Just embrace
I
it.
think
Worst.
the Color Prince had a really good point. Was like when you give people power, some people just abuse it. Like
I
he said like,
think so
oh,
too.
you get a slave, all of a sudden, and you beat like you never beat anyone. You treat people really good, but now you have a slave and you beat him. Like you can even murder him if you want. He's your slave.
Right.
And you see that also in like retail a lot. You got employees and working with you guys, but all of a sudden Manny
Gap.
gets promoted and it goes to his head and he treats all of us like shit.
Right.
Because he's in charge now.
Right.
You never had a boss like that?
I don't think it's a foregone
Come on.
conclusion, but I think it's a weakness that humans can sometimes.
I think that's a perspective. I feel like a lot of times, let's say for instance that you have a friend and then somebody gets promoted, their role has changed. So the way that they treat you has to change. And some people can't understand that change.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
I'm saying some people let their power go to the head, and well, before they would, help people out with the job, they'll just go in the office and be like, you guys do this, I'm just going to sit in my office all day. And
Right.
they're not actually doing anything. They're just like, I'm the boss, I don't have to work.
I think both happen.
Yeah.
I think you're both right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's common.
It
I'm saying
happens, right? It happens, right? I completely agree.
There's definitely a question mark. We have to think like we've got these two perspectives in this book, right? We've got Omnichrome's perspective, which sold Liv at the end, and then we have.
Do you
Gavin's.
really think it did though?
That's a good question.
I think the.
What do you say?
the
Wait,
threat
that
more
sounds like a
sold
Brett
Liv.
bet, Manny. You should make it.
What?
Liv? Did it
Was
sell
Liv-
Liv?
Oh,
Jeff's like, you should make it because I can't.
That's a great Brett bet.
Because
Oh my
we know
god,
it's
it's so good.
50-50.
do you think that Liv has
Liv.
really
I'm
believed
yours.
has really believed what the Omni Prince has said
Yeah.
and
Well, I mean,
joining his stance or his
And as part of this Brett bet, let's actually talk about the giant misunderstanding. That moment when her dad talked to her after
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to Gavin,
yeah.
and then talk with her, and the way that she took it, and the way that he was meaning it.
Right.
I
That
mean,
was
yeah.
unbelievable.
Because that chapter
Yeah,
was
you
from
can't tell
Corbin's
her.
perspective, right?
Yes,
so we
it
got to
was.
see his
Oh.
inner monologue, and man, that did not go at planned at all.
wait,
How you
what
thought
part
it
are we
did.
talking about?
When Corbin talked to Liv about why the whole war.
Chromeria, the
Yeah,
war.
the
What do you
false
mean,
Prince
Dad?
War.
You had loyalty to one.
Yeah.
Loyalty to one.
And he's
Okay, so
like,
you're
not-
talking. You're not talking about the end. You're talking about like kind of like
It's
the
like
middle,
the
middle
third-
of the book.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
I
third of the
love
way.
that
Gavin
fucking
again.
scene, dude.
Okay, that's part of this Brett bet. This is a fantastic Brett bet. So like let's like talk about that scene for a second. Liv, the character. Liv
I didn't
literally
even think about that.
like we get to Corvin. Here's what I thought. I'll tell you, this
He's
is the
like-
second time I've read the fucking book, and I still thought Corvin Danavis was gonna walk in and be like, "Oh fuck," and instead he was like,
You gotta stick by your morals. Yeah.
hugs his bro, and they like high fived and like we're like,
Yeah.
"How's it going, dude?
Yeah.
We're doing this," and I'm like, "What?
Yeah, that
What?
was awesome
What?
to see those characters link up.
Like what?"
That's a good point. I completely forgot about that scene, even though it was one of my favorite scenes, because the end part that we were talking about, I actually, when I was reading or when I was listening to that, I actually took it as I thought she was just trying to save Kip and Karis. But maybe
Oh.
she does agree with him a little
I
bit
think
because
she does agree
have
with him.
because she does have a thing against Gavin.
Yeah.
Well-
Also, I found it super weird. I talked to Captain a little about this. That she's so hard on her father for working with the Prism. Because,
Yeah.
like, oh, the Prism killed my mom.
Right.
Loyalty to
But she went to the
Cormeria.
Comeria to study, like, under him.
Under
like,
him,
he's
yeah.
the leader.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
Like, how can you follow him?
Well,
You're
I mean-
there. She was lusting after him.
A little
But
bit,
she was
yeah.
trying not to, but
Yeah.
he's just
But she
super
also didn't have, like,
sexy.
any...
Well, that's the thing about lust. You can't try not to. It
Yeah.
just fucking happens.
Yeah.
It's also, like, hate him.
Yeah.
She was like,
exactly.
indifferent, and it's like, how can you work with him?
Yeah.
She killed mother, but you went there to study.
Yeah.
Well, but,
But
he
I do-
convinced her to go do that.
Yeah, but that's the problem is like, oh, I need
Who?
to get power.
The father?
I can
Yeah.
you can still get power
What
and
are you talking
hate the people that are giving you power.
The church was
Yeah,
convinced
that's
his
true.
daughter to go to
Yeah, they were talking about it. Like they revert to the past, and he was kind of like, "Should we or shouldn't you have you actually go to the Cormeria?"
But
He was
Ben,
voting against
you
it.
can go get.
Oh, you're right. He was like, "No, I can teach you
But you
everything."
can go
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
power
yeah.
Right,
and
right,
still
right.
hate who give you
Yeah,
power.
but she went there, but she was still like friendly with him and super excited that he acknowledged her in class.
Yeah.
There was
Well,
a
here's the other
major
thing, though, is
undertone that she wanted it to be
Yeah.
more than just a tutor privilege.
Yeah.
Remember when he yelled at her
I do
for
have to-
staring?
I do
Yeah.
have to say though. Okay, hold on. I do have to say though that all of that happened before the moment that I felt like she
Oh.
started to really hate him, which is,
Yeah.
oh, now you're using my father against me.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
manipulating my dad. I
Yeah.
think that's what pushed her over the edge. Her reading those not there fucking undertones.
I mean,
Misinterpreting
it
those
super
undertones.
makes sense, except the whole thing is Gavin's like Gavin. He's
Exactly.
Dies in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's her. No, it's like her kind of interpreting. Well,
It's
I
the
know.
father
I
that
know my.
trusted her with the information.
I know my father loves me. I think this is what's happening. He's protecting me somehow because I'm being held against
the
him.
father doesn't trust
Honestly,
her
it
enough
makes
to
perfect
tell her.
sense.
It's
The
It's
worst.
really
Go
difficult
ahead,
to.
Captain.
I hope the best for Liv's character. I really liked her a lot. But if you look at a lot of her previous dealings, because she thought her Corvin was dead, right? And her previous dealings with, like, what was her name? Agatha or something? That was she
Yeah,
was like
yeah, the,
comically,
yes, Agatha Christie.
cartoonishly abusive of Liv.
Yes.
And as her retainer and as her patron, that's got to be something
Yeah.
that immediately breeds distrust in Liv for anyone that she's
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
The worst is that like you like it's amazing because you read from Danavis' perspective, then you read from Liv's, and you're literally like he's like Danavis is like, please trust me, and she's like, I get it. He's fucking using you. He's using me against you. Fuck this shit. And you like understand, and right after you're reading the
understand
chapter
her
where he's like,
position.
"You're
Yeah,
my
yeah.
best friend ever. We set this all up," and that's where Dazen was.
Yeah.
Dazen and Danavis are literally like,
We
"Holy
got
shit,
this."
we're the bad guys."
Yeah.
Like we didn't mean to be the bad guys. Holy fuck, we're the bad guys. Could you imagine if we win this war? They literally were like, "Could you imagine if we win this war? We could win this war. Could you imagine if that?"
Yeah, it's gonna tear the country
Holy
apart.
shit.
Yeah.
And so they like have this whole like hatch plan.
Oh, and with his like,
you read that
the
and then you
pirate
go
guy?
here and then you're reading Liv's thoughts and you're like,
Yeah, Liv is.
This is not going anywhere
Yeah,
good.
Liv is thinking
Oh my
exactly
god.
everything they thought would happen. She's just like, oh, what a bastard.
But it's like it's not her being stupid. It's like
No,
it makes
no.
sense.
Yeah,
It does. It makes
From
so
her
much
point of view,
Makes
sense.
sense.
She
Perfect
is
sense, yeah.
totally.
It's like, of
validated.
course you would expect your father to make any sacrifice for you. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and of course you would be pissed off that your love for your father is being used against your father.
Oh,
you know what I
dear
mean?
God. Dear God. So, back to the Brett bet.
I think we passed it, right?
Yeah.
We decided not to do it.
No, I think it's like live, stay true or not.
Oh. I mean,
Stay true to her father
commitment
or
at the end of the
the color white.
Well,
The-
she
well, the
said, "I
color
am
king."
yours."
Yeah.
I think she means it, but I feel like I'm hoping she like changes at the end.
I feel like her father's right. Like, he was so nonchalant about it. Don't worry, she'll be back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take it. That's a great Brett bet. I
Yeah.
love it.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
It's a yay or nay. Is she staying with the commitment or is she breaking it?
See
and coming back?
that's
No.
hard because
I felt like when she said it, she felt that was the correct path, and she's gonna do it.
Then
But-
maybe
but I think the Brett bet is
iterations.
what is it going to actually play out
Exactly.
as? Yeah.
It's what it's gonna play out as.
Oh,
The only reason that here's the only reason why here's the only reason why it's a little tricky for me is because I don't believe that Liv is going to be on the counter to her father for too long, but I'm not sure which side her father's going to be on forever. And like I said at the beginning in part 1 of this, I'm not 100% completely convinced that the Omnichrome Prince is going to be
That
on the
bad the whole time.
opposite side
Yeah, yeah.
of our main
So
characters.
you can't say like, oh, she's not on every chrome side.
Right,
so she's
We have to
against
make.
it.
We have to make it very specific.
I think
It's
the Brett,
about
I think the
Omnicron.
Brett bet is perfect. I'm just saying
Oh, okay.
I'm confused what
to say?
choose.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think the Brett bet is perfect.
I was like, we could be more
Yeah.
specific if
no,
we
I
need
think
to.
the Brett bet is perfect though. It does.
Okay.
We'll just make it if our main characters end up going to the Omnichrome side, then a yes on this loses. Does Liv end up coming back to Gavin? Does Liv initiate the coming back to Gavin and the Cap and her father's side? Gavin and her father coming back to Liv or coming to them is a loss if you say yes.
I'm fine with that.
So I'm going to say
I'll go. I
Okay.
have my thoughts.
If it hasn't,
I think
it's not happened yet.
Liv is not gonna come back, and I think I'll even go so far as to say Kip is gonna kill her.
That'd be glorious.
a little bonus bet.
Glorious.
I'm just gonna
Captain, are you recording this comment?
I am.
You have to record this comment. Brett,
am.
record it. Somebody does.
That's it. Ben
Ben,
gives
so
everyone a double
Ben's
shot
a
if
no.
that's
I'm just gonna a little bonus in
And
there.
Kip kills
I think they're
Liv.
gonna fight, and even though like they feel like they just went down a long path, they went too far to go back, and
I'll even give you a little bit more leniency. Oh, that's just a little bit more leniency. Kip and Liv fight, and one of them dies.
Right.
Kip and Liv fight.
Andros, you're next.
Andros
Guile.
You don't have to bet on the
Andros
Kip.
Guile.
Yeah, that's Ben's bonus.
Well,
that either
sitting
all
in
of us
my-
have to fucking drink or just he drinks.
Sitting in my
For all of
completely
us.
black, with colorless room, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna agree with Ben, which would be a no, correct? To the verbiage,
Correct.
yeah.
She does
I'm
not
gonna
go
say
back.
no.
I'm gonna disagree and say yes, she will go back.
I feel like
And I feel like the Omni Prince or whatever dude is clearly a douche, just based on what he did to Dazen in the past, and even Karis doesn't really like him or trust him. So
Yeah.
Oh, her own brother.
Her own
brother.
Exactly. So I'm gonna have to
We'll
say-
get to that in
Oh,
a
I didn't even
second.
know
Yeah.
about that.
I'm feeling really good about my bet now.
So did all of you guys go?
No, I think Brett still.
Andrew is a no.
Correct.
Brett is a... I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to be with Manny on this one.
It's a repeat of the last
He
bet.
comes back.
I don't like the way you responded to that. I'm going to go no. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Yes.
All right, Josh.
Josh.
Why me?
I want to hear what you say
Alright.
first.
I want to hear what you said first.
Why me?
Why me? I think. Ooh, I have a bit more knowledge.
Well, if you guys know something, I don't think you should bet.
No, we don't. Literally,
We can bet on this.
They have more knowledge, but they
It's
don't
still
know
up
the
there. Yeah,
outcome.
up here.
Ooh.
I think.
No, this is like,
Damn.
yeah.
Ooh.
Get ready, boys. We are going to be reading this shit.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Finally.
It's like hard because I think has she reached that point?
Shh, don't think out loud.
Yeah.
Just say your answer.
Let's just go look at Jeff.
3, 2, 1.
Can't even choose.
Go.
This is how hard this is.
She gonna die. I don't think she'll make it. I
Wait,
think
that's
it's
not the
gonna
bet.
be, I don't think she'll come back.
Okay.
No?
So it was no, no,
No.
no,
Yes, yes.
I'm
yes.
going to be really bummed if Jeff picks no.
This side against that side.
I'm going to be really fucking
It's,
bummed if
this
Jeff
side?
picks yes.
First, I already did. I picked, I
picked yes.
Or if
I
he
picked
picks
yes.
no.
It's this side versus that side.
Yep.
Damn.
Oh, you did? You
I
said
did.
yes?
He
Yeah.
said yes.
Good.
This is
I feel
so
much better now.
fucking intense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. What a Brett bet we just made.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
is Liv gonna
Initiate
live up to those
returning
words?
to
Probably.
Gavin and her father's side. Is
Yeah.
the exact wording I have.
Exactly, and we'll play
Gavin
that.
or Kim?
No, we'll.
Yeah, they're the same.
All right, so we are reaching the end of this episode. Should we talk about the final battle scene?
No.
Yes.
No, we can't because we also have to talk about We have to do.
Characters.
We have a third episode. We have third part. We do no matter what.
Okay. Too bad Baker didn't read this book.
I know.
Well, can we?
Sorry, Baker.
Baker's there.
Ben's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Ben can't do it.
So we could schedule it for another day.
No, we got it. We either gotta like do it without Ben, or we just go a little.
If
bit
we
longer.
schedule it for another
think
day,
we
I
just go a little
can
bit longer.
participate.
Let's finish it up.
Let's just
Because I
finish it
didn't
up.
finish.
Also, Andrew has not finished the book.
let's go for
What?
Andrew, did you
I have not finished.
Come on.
so close.
I was close.
Let's do another round.
That's why we
I was
waited.
really close.
5 hours left. He's not.
What? You only got an hour done from when we talked at 3?
No, I was pretty close, but I didn't finish.
All right.
He has 5 hours.
Now I know why you've been doing the dead face like nod whenever I talk
All right.
about the last hour.
And here's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Here's what.
Yeah,
Here's what we'll
definitely.
do. We'll extend this episode to talk just briefly about Karis and some of
Okay,
the other
okay.
characters. We'll just get that all settled.
Finished.
And then what we'll do is before book 2, we'll
We'll
do
do
the
an episode.
beginning.
We'll finish this one.
We'll do the a mini episode on just the end before we go right into
All right,
book 2.
cool. Let's
Sound
do
good?
it. Yep.
All right.
All right. So with that said, we got to talk about Karis.
Yeah.
Karis and Gavin's / Dazen's relationship.
Betrothal.
Does he even know about that?
He does, because
I
he
know a lot
read
about
through
it.
the point where she was describing Gavin as she knew him. The rapist, bastard, asshole,
Yeah.
cunt, son of a bitch.
I love
and yet
that point.
Dazen, and she even says that Dazen cannot see the issues in his own brother.
Yeah.
Like he still holds him on a pedestal and all of this stuff. And yet, then there's Dazen, and who comes back from war a better man?
That's like
and
one
all
of my
this
favorite
stuff,
lines
and
in
this
the
is-
book. Who comes
so
back from
we have
war
to
a better
talk-
man?
Well,
This-
Dazen has total daddy issues.
He does have daddy
Yeah.
issues. I mean, we saw him come out of his little confrontation with Andros Guile, and that felt
how
like the
fuck-
most powerful man on the
is that
planet
for
just
him?
got his.
I said, how
Spent.
fucked up is that for him? Well, he's Dazen, but he's playing Gavin.
Yeah.
And his father's like, good thing your brother died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because now
That's why he has
I
daddy
should-
issues.
Yeah, that was weird. He was just like, I should have.
No, the dad
Or he's like, I should have
complimented.
supported
The
you.
dad complimented.
Dad, that's you,
the real
Captain.
The real Gavin,
Just
and he's
joking,
like, "Well,
just
your
joking.
brother was really smart. Unfortunately, he's dead." Something along those lines.
No, the comment
He
was.
did say that.
No,
He did
the
say
comment
that.
was the one thing that your brother had on you was that he was smart.
Yeah.
But that was it. But he was saying, even Dazen said, like, oh, this was the most compliment his father has ever given him, but it wasn't even
Right.
intended as a
Yeah,
Right.
It's just like, oh, you was the only smart. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It feels a little bit like Papa Lannister to me. The relationship.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%
Tywin
as
and
the
Tyrion.
highlight.
Right.
Yes, they're
Not
fine.
only Tywin and Tyrion, but Tywin and fucking Jaime.
Jamie.
Yeah.
When he comes in and talks to him while he's skinning that fucking deer in the
yeah.
show, not in
Right.
the book.
Yeah.
But it was like very like
This is a power.
Domineering.
Like,
it's
I'm
all just
better than
manipulating you
but
to do what I
yeah.
want you to do.
Well,
yeah.
the crazy thing is the flashbacks. Like when Dazen, aka Gavin, is having a moment where he's remembering this like flashback, and he remembers several things. The first thing that he remembers is him almost killing his brother. And then them never fighting again. The second thing
that.
is they were best friends.
Until
But then-
his brother turned 13.
Then his brother got taken into something and came back like
Yeah.
some
Brainwashed
Radiohead,
or
like
something.
brainwashed, like who knows what Andros Gal had him go
Yeah.
through kind of thing. And then the weirdest thing is like his mom. We didn't even talk about him killing his mom yet.
Oh my God.
But his mom saying, "I loved your father."
I loved your father.
Past tense.
I know that past tense, and I know that they have issues now. But the fact that she could do that at some point means that man was something at some point. Like, you
Or he
gotta
wanted
understand.
her to believe that he was something.
Maybe, I don't know. There's something there.
He's
like,
manipulative mother.
Well, I mean, but it could also, I mean, this is
You
getting a
could
little bit
just
too
tell-
deep, but like, it could also just be the fact that, like, when they met, she was young and valued the
Naive,
wrong
yeah.
qualities. You know,
Maybe,
it's
but,
like,
like,
oh, he's
she
a
seemed
prism.
like-
He's a man of power. He's
dude, she was like,
wasn't he a prism?
No.
no.
Oh, I
The
thought
red
he was.
was never.
No,
He was never a
Andros
prison.
Oh, I thought he
never a
was.
prison.
No.
He
thought they said he
positioned
was.
his son to be the next prism, and I
Wow.
think
He was grooming his
I
son.
honestly, truly am thinking about that strategically. You know, a prism is a short-term thing.
Yeah.
You
I
wanted
think
his
he
father.
was literally maneuvering Gavin to be the prism and gonna use Dazen as the house, like the
Legacy.
next lead for the house, the legacy.
Yeah.
But Dazen doesn't fucking understand that yet. Prism is a short-term fucking like figurehead.
Yeah, it's 7, 14,
21.
21 years.
Literally, I think Andros Guile was
Potentially 16.
maneuvering Gavin to be that because he designated eldest son, aka not
The
quite as
better
smart
one.
son,
Yeah, yeah.
the better one, to
Which
be
maybe he
the
doesn't
prism,
recognize.
so that he could have Dazen take his house.
I don't know if I would agree with that. I think that he was making his other son or he was
The
like
lead.
breeding him to become the
Better.
prism because I think he's able to manipulate him.
But that's a good question
Easy.
too, though. Is like, what's the ultimate goal? Is it ultimate power? Because Prism's ultimate power, and being able to control the sun that has ultimate power is better than handing off your power to the.
But
one
even
that-
if you were
Executive
controlling
power.
the sun who has ultimate power,
Yeah.
somebody's got to take your house. You're grooming somebody to take over when you're done.
But Gavin, like the original Gavin, wouldn't like. He wasn't supposed to marry. What's her name?
Karis.
Karis.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I want to marry her, and then they switched it. Even though he's gonna die really quick.
Well, I don't think that we know all the facts yet. In that
We don't.
situation.
But we got enough at the end, in the first book, to realize that Gavin is like, no, I'm gonna take her too.
When did that flip, though? Did it flip after or
Gavin
before
wanted
Dazen
to
was
take
another prism?
Dazen's because Dazen really liked Karis.
yeah.
So he's like, nope, I want her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
See,
was
the
that
real
because
Gavin,
suddenly,
not Gavin.
Was it
To
because?
show a power.
But when was it though? What I'm saying is like that, in my opinion, based on the description that I'm reading, seemed like it was after.
Negative.
Dazen suddenly
Yeah. The original plan
was.
was to have Gavin not married and her married, die Dazen.
Because he ruined her.
Yeah, and then they did actually sleep together. That plan worked off, but then, and they fell in love, and then Gavin, like later, it's like, nope, I'm gonna take her too, and
Yeah.
But that
And
was
then-
after Dazen was already against. He had already claimed and was the False Prism War.
no,
So
No, it wasn't.
was.
It was before.
It wasn't before.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. They even explained it in the story. He's
Yeah.
like, I told my brother that I was getting
And then
more power,
the
and he got scared, and he took her.
the first time he did the prism was when her brothers.
Yeah,
tried to
the
beat him.
brothers.
And
And
that
that was-
is the start of the False Prisms War. After that, Dazen never went back, ever. He literally went from there. He left. He had all of the colors.
So you're agreeing with us?
I'm
This
not,
happened
because,
before that.
because Karis's flashback happened when they were marching. Because what happened is
There's a bunch of her flashbacks. So which one are you talking about?
the flashback that she's talking about when she was finally taken by Gavin. That particular thing happened when they were marching, because just after that night, it was
When he's-
not long before Gavin went to the final battle and
Yeah.
came back a better man. They were already in war at that point.
You're talking about the flashback where they slept together and he ordered her out of his chambers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we agree with that.
Oh.
We're saying that the whole thing happened where he said, I want Karis, happened before the
Oh,
war.
yeah. I'm sorry. Taking Karis, I was
We're not talking about the rape.
attributing to the okay, never mind. The claiming of Karis.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page.
I'm like, what are you talking about? We are right.
No, sorry. I was talking
all
about
right.
that. I'm like, no, that moment happened right before the end.
Yeah.
Actually,
That moment did.
sorry. Now I understand. The claiming of Karis, like the I'm actually gonna marry her.
Yeah.
I got you.
And
yeah,
if-
that did happen.
His
beforehand.
father really wanted Dyson to take over the house. Then that other house would have been ideal for it.
Mm-hmm.
Until they lost all the power.
Correct.
Well, they weren't supposed to though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daisy killed them all. So
Yeah.
literally,
But they-
all of them.
But they had already lost the power by then.
One of them survived.
Because the reason
Burned
that
up like
her
crazy.
father was trying to like marry her off
Yeah.
to get power back because they had already lost it.
What'd you
They
think
lost
about that suicide?
A lot.
What'd you think about Mr.
Because they
White
even
Oak's
said that
suicide?
they were like putting her off as like a whore.
What'd you think about Mr. White Oak's suicide?
I thought that was fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he was doing really stupid things as a father, and then he realized how stupid he was being, and he killed himself.
What was it? Not desperation, total and utter desperation.
Yeah, I felt it was desperation for him. He had nothing left. I think he felt like, I think everything. He seemed like a person that everyone before him put him in this spot, and now he was in charge, and now there's nothing left.
Everything was falling apart.
Well,
Okay.
all his
Downton
sons are
Abbey
dead.
mode.
Karis was
There's a movie coming out, isn't
like
there?
moving against him. Like
out
he
here.
saw Karis' one chance to save the house, and he's like, "Nope, I'm not gonna do it." And then he's like, "I don't know what to do. I'm gonna kill myself."
Fuck.
I got a final Brent.
I thought it was a coward, was way out, but I could understand like why.
I have a I don't know if nobody's brought it up, and I feel like it's a big thing.
No,
so-
I think you should do it. Do it.
Okay, so I feel like I'm probably the only one that felt this, considering nobody brought it up. But does anybody else feel like potentially Kip is
Her son?
actually
No. No.
Karis's and
I thought the thing when I read it too, but I'm totally like,
Yeah.
nope, it's not.
I felt that way in the middle or
Yeah.
something.
But after the end of the first book, you're like, nope, his mother would not written that message to him like that.
why?
Yeah.
Because she actually had hatred for this dude
Also,
for pretty much taking her, and we know that Gavin has a history of raping women, and
But
the reason she doesn't like him is because of that. And
But just
then she's like, kill him.
because that happened doesn't mean necessarily that it's her son. I don't think.
Okay, I agree with you that
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
mean, but
I
I'm going to
agree. I
disagree
think
with you.
that the
they're-
mindset from Kip's point of view, that like how his mother treated him and how everything like happened, like that's his mom.
Yeah, but I also think that
I agree.
potentially we're being set up for another situation where Kip is reading into his parent
too much?
something that is not there.
Yeah.
We don't have confirmation that his interpretation of the events is exactly
That
what
is
happened.
Frame
And
the
I
Brett
feel
bet.
like-
I think you should
And I feel like
frame
there's
this Brett bet.
precedent for this happening where Liv read into her father intentions that were not there, misinterpreting exactly what happened.
Frame the Brett bet, Brett.
Is Kip actually the son of not Gavin but fake Gavin and
Davian.
Karis?
Wait, what?
No, it would be real
Devian.
Gavin.
Real Gavin.
No,
Because-
I was thinking that it's potentially not real Gavin.
Explain it.
Oh! I
Explain
know what
it.
he's saying.
Yeah.
And the night when he snuck into a room,
And they slept together is
I-
actually
yeah.
when she got pregnant.
And then when she got raped by Gavin,
Is not
Yeah.
Kip's son. Yeah.
but then
I disagree with
Ooh.
you because just like Jeff said, she got raped like when the war was already in place, and he did not come in to sleep with Karis at that point. Like the son that the child that she bared was the real Gavin's son.
yeah, I also thought that that went through my mind, but I think the timeline was too
The
far
timeline
apart.
doesn't- yeah.
The timeline is not correct. That's why I disagree with you. I'm like, nope, there's no way.
And I also felt like it could have been real Gavin's son and her son, but then when I got to the end, I was like, maybe not.
I had
Yeah.
the same thought as you, like, holy crap, Kip
Yeah.
could potentially be Karis' actual son, and she
See,
left him
but-
with
but-
that mother and all that stuff. But then after,
But
like,
this is the thing, is that later Karis straight up says he could be the age of my son.
he's around the age of my son.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
But no, I don't think he is.
What can
I
we
don't
simplify the
believe he
bet?
is.
Can you make it like
I don't think I want to make a Brett bet, but I'm just curious about
what if you made a Brett bet, but like think about it in this. I'm
But
just
why don't
trying
you
to-
word the Brett bet? I mean, I don't really want to make a Brett bet.
Yeah, but
No,
Make the Brett.
Let me give you an example.
Just
This
make
can
a
be
bet.
an everybody Brett bet.
Like, who is
like-
Kip's real parents?
No. What if you just made like take? That's so hard. What if
Okay.
you just said who's Kip's
so
real mom
if Kip
or Kip's real
Yeah.
dad?
if Kip's
if you
parents
took
did
half?
procreate, how hard did they procreate?
Was it in
Was
the
it penetration?
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what if
Or
what
was
if
it
you
Luxon? All the
dude?
face.
You're making
Did
it
he just send the seed through blue Luxon in shells, or
right. All right, Brett. Let me ask you
Pretty sure
this.
to be answered in the
Brett, let me ask you this. Do you want it to be both parents or one parent? And then let's just talk through what you think that is.
I mean, I think it's an interesting discussion. Either Gavin or the brother, fake Gavin, being the father.
Is it what's presented or
when I
happened?
first had the idea, was thinking Karis and current non-prison
Devian.
Gavin.
I think
Fake
you should.
Gavin.
I think you should make a bet and take either one or both parents.
Well,
You
I
either say
don't
both-
like that
All right.
every single person but me is like the timelines don't add up.
Alright, how about this? The mom, Kip's mom,
Is Karis.
Oh, it's not Karis.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
That's
let's
what
do
I
that.
mean. Like, make if
Is
you
Kip's
if you're
mother?
not confident
Can
enough,
you guys bet this?
We can.
Oh.
Is Kip's mother Karis?
Okay.
That's the Brett bet.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say no.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I want to say yes.
And
Is Kip's mom Karis? I'm gonna say yes.
Oh,
That's 3
3
on
and
3.
3.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Brent, and Andrew. Everyone else says no.
Oh wait, Manny said no.
Fuck, Ben.
So Ben,
Fuck.
Ben, no. Manny, no.
No,
Josh, no.
Like, if I'm
But
thinking
Josh
about
gets
it
a lot right.
logically, like, why
Andrew,
would
yes.
why would if Karis if she's leaving her child to somebody, like, what would make her want to pick a woman that's a drug addict?
Yeah. My
The
Also-
reason that the woman is a drug addict is because she got raped by real Gavin,
And
it
couldn't
made it
manage-
seem
yeah.
like she was a whore, and he just tossed her aside, and
And
then she
she's
was
like-
just miserable about her
Yeah.
life and did drugs to fix
my
it.
one
This is
thought
the
to
best bet that
Huh.
Brett could have ever brought
But
up
Manny-
because literally, like, we were on the edge of our seats.
This is
Wait,
basically
so-
this series equivalent of Who is Jon Snow's
Guys.
mother.
Yeah, it kind of is.
that one kid who tried to assassinate Gavin is Karis's son.
Zyman?
We got another Brett bet?
Whatever that is.
Zyman.
I think he's not dead. I think he's gonna come back.
No, I think her son or her child is still alive, and it's definitely a character
Gonna come into the story. Yeah.
I think it's that kid.
The best
The
thing
same
about
age.
this...
Because he even said it when it's floating down the river. It's like, oh, that kid's like the same age as me. Even like a year or two younger. Something like that.
That's
The best
interesting.
thing, the best
I
thing
like
about
that.
this
Talented.
bet.
I'm not
the
gonna
best-
change mine because that's cheating, but I like that.
I think it's
best thing
a
about this-
Martell style distraction.
That's
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the best bets you could imagine because Josh and I have already read through the other books and we're still questioning ourselves constantly.
Good.
So, and we get to read the whole series together, and the last book's coming out, which is why we're putting this out. So we're going all the way through, baby.
I know.
And it's going to be intense.
This is my
and
favorite position.
incredible.
This is my favorite position to be in, where I can just read through a series or watch a series, and I don't have to wait for the end. I always I didn't watch Friends until it was already completely done. Like most series, I don't watch until they're completely done. There's one series that I've read or watched before it's completely done, and that's Game of Thrones because Jeff made me watch the first episode. And then that was on season 2. And once I got to the end of season 2, I was like, I fucking hate you.
But also,
now I have to wait 8 years.
All right, folks. Let me go around real quick because we talked. I mean, we didn't talk Green Golem yet. We didn't talk a lot of this stuff. We talked a little bit about Iron Fist, the Chromaria. I mean, there's obviously a lot left.
I think you mean Black Fist.
However, what I would love is to just go around circle and just make final comments on some of this stuff. We could obviously bring it up in before next episode. We'll do one episode of kind of finality type stuff. We'll talk
Do
to
we want to
Dagger
save the
and the color.
the summary up for that episode?
That would.
Do we want to save kind of the final thoughts for that
That'd be a
episode?
good idea.
I want to save that.
Yeah.
But my round circle is there anything else middle to almost end of the book? That you
Last
love?
thing that I just want to say is that I don't think that Andros Guile is deceived by Gavin, pretend Gavin, at all. Let's think about the fact that this guy doesn't even see right now and he's blind and you're super sensitive to other things. I think you know what your sons sound like and they're not going to sound identical. Even
So you think he already basically knows?
Oh, he knows.
What do you think about his comment about the dagger then?
What do I think about his comment about
He's like, get the dagger, blah, 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 blah. And he
But
said all that, and then he was like,
He probably wait, what?
I don't know, the way that how his son really didn't have as much information or conversation about it, it seemed like he let it go too easily. He knows.
so he knows?
Yeah.
And do you think, though, what do you think about the fucking dagger then?
I think the dagger has the power to take away people's.
No, but I mean, do you think that so Andros and Gavin are in the cahoots, and he's just even though he knows it stays in, he said that whole dagger comment?
Why did the dad and real Gavin both mention the fucking dagger?
That's what I mean. There's
It's a real thing that people know. Even though people say it's
Is it their
legendary?
Is
or
it
whatever.
from their family? Is it their own
Well,
heirloom?
what I mean is if he thought it was Gavin, let's say that he knew
And why does
he knew.
Kip's
Let's say
mother
he knew.
have it?
He said he knew, right? Let's say he knows, like you're saying. Why would he say that? Was he testing him?
What did he say about the dagger? I don't even remember the exact words. Can you say it?
It was something like, "Oh, she has the dagger. You have to get it."
Did you
blah,
see
blah,
the
blah,
box?
blah.
And was the dagger
Yeah.
inside?
But
is
did
what
you
he
see the
said.
box? Was it rosewood? Was it rosewood? Something like that. What do you think?
So he was obsessed
Because
with the
I know
box.
the
also
I
Gavin
think the dad
that's-
knows what the dagger is, and
But Gavin started laughing when
He knows
said
what
it,
that
and then
dagger
he
is,
said,
too.
he said,
Here, I'm gonna
that
make-
whore.
I'm gonna make a Hail Mary incorrect prediction.
anyways, that's my final thought.
And Andros Guile was once a polychrome, and the dagger took away and made him just a red.
Oh, damn.
Interesting.
Okay, that's wrong.
I think that Manny has a Brett bet, though.
No, I don't. That was just my final comment.
All right, my final comment is that one of my favorite
Does
quotes...
Andros Guile know if Gavin is Gavin or Dazen?
Yeah. I think that's a good Brett bet, but I don't want to make it.
You guys suck.
No, I don't want to make it because I think that's... I don't want to make a Brett bet where, like... I mean, unless somebody else brings it up, I don't want to personally initiate a Brett bet where I don't have an opinion on it, where I'm just like
You're just
rolling the
guessing
dice
50-50?
on it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's a really interesting thing that we should talk about in the next episode. My final parting thing is just going to be that I really loved the quote from Gavin where he's like, where he's talking about using like his powers to like see through girls' dresses or whatever. And he's like, I was stupid once and I was a mischievous boy. He's like, but then I grew up. No, I'm a mischievous man.
By the way, what happened is that's when they were wearing Luxon as clothes.
As clothes, and he was
and
able
then
to
he found out how
manipulate
to unseal their clothes. And so he did.
Yeah.
And ended that whole trend.
Who wouldn't do that?
A woman. Well, unless she was a lesbian. Maybe.
Or if men were wearing them.
Yeah.
Final parts? I've
Or-
got one too.
All right.
But I'll save it. till
Final
the end.
words. I think that the book overall added, like, I think in terms of magical systems and character development, they've put a lot of effort. Well, not a lot of effort, but they've put a lot of things to get you really excited about. I think there's a lot of potential there, and it's going to keep growing. And I think that the magic system, the character development, that this is such a great book that's going to allow a lot of room for that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm super excited for it.
Ben? Hitman?
I'm so glad we don't have to wait for the last one. We're literally going to finish with
Yeah,
book 4, like, right when 5 comes out.
Yeah. No, we're actually gonna be reading 5's already gonna be out. We're gonna be reading the other books
I'm
still.
very excited.
Ben.
Nice. I think the white.
God, everything's with the whites with this guy. Racist.
I think the white was planning to kill Kiris. Like, I don't think
Really?
she sent it for her brother or anything. I think she wanted to get him out of the way so she could manipulate the prism more.
So you think the white had no idea that the Omni Prince was her brother?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
think
was
she
just
might have been
it.
aware of it, of him.
But
and
you
became-
just thought she was going to go there and
Yeah.
get killed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too much of a risk to send her to some place where she's obviously famous. Like, they make paintings of her,
Yeah.
and
Just go be a spy.
I mean, this kind of ties
that's
into
my
an
final
earlier
thoughts.
discussion in part 1 where we think the white is not letting everything...
oh,
Captain?
I think she definitely has
yeah.
a plan.
Yeah.
instead.
I mean, I think you brought up that point in part 1 anyway. Or was it
It
Manny?
was me.
It was Manny.
It's Manny. Captain? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I was just going to say final thoughts. I think Brent Weeks is a great author. He seems to actively anticipate reader expectations, which can definitely help for a complex world-building fantasy series. I think he's good. I like it. I just need, I wish I had more time and more focus to get to dive in head first into his content.
Don't worry, you're gonna have time to catch up.
Yeah.
Finish up, do book 2. And
Pro
do
tip.
it right.
Actually read during the full 3 weeks.
My
Right.
final thoughts.
That was my problem as well.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
not
leave them
talking
as
shit.
questions.
Yeah.
I'll leave them as questions, and I'll avoid the end of the book. The first
we'll finish it up next.
major question I had was, why did Gavin spare the pirate gunner? The second thought that I want to give to you is, what plan did Andros and the original Gavin have that we don't fucking have any idea about?
What?
And third, because they know about this dagger, there's this weird thing. Kip's mom was entrusted with it.
Weird. Okay.
What the hell was going on that we're unaware of, because we don't have the real Gavin, we have Dazen. And my last comment is a bread bet. And it's to you guys.
We talked about this.
Does
you can't
the
do bread bets.
original
Then you
Gavin
can't-
Kyle escape or not?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Wait, can you guys participate?
We cannot.
Does he escape? Yes.
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 Andrew?
Does escape mean just get out? Like someone's gonna rescue him?
We just got to get out of the prison.
So he just gets out of the prison.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he went from one to another, so I'm gonna say no.
Yes, no. All right, good. That's all I wanted. We'll record it. Thank you, folks. We're going to talk about the very end of this book as a precursor to the next discussion for book 2. So we will see you in about 2 weeks based on the number of episodes we've recorded. Ish. We're going to give it 3, actually, because we need it.
Sounds good.
That's fine, but yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
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 To the Black Prism and Brent Weeks. Tell us our colors, folks. Comment. I'm curious.
Me too.
Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.